This is the plaintiff, Tiffany Simone. She says she's an author, and she rented a party space from the defendant for a pre-release party for her new novel. In a moment of confusion, though, she overpaid the defendant, in essence paying her twice for the party space, and the woman refuses to return her overpayment. She has no choice but to sue here and now for the $400 she's owed, and that's just what she's doing today. This is the defendant, Adrian Ferguson. She says the plaintiff didn't make the food and bar minimum they agreed to, and in reality, the woman still owes her $300. She was willing to just let it go, but the plaintiff is making a big stink out of it because she thinks she overpaid, which she didn't, so here they are. She is accused of trying to take advantage of a mistake.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff rented space from the defendant for a book party for her new novel, but says she double paid. The defendant says it's her who's owed more. It's the case of a novel party.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Tiffany Simone.
Yes.
You are suing Adrian Ferguson and Billy's Black Bar Lounge. You're the owner?
Yes.
Okay. For $400 that you say is owed to you in overpayment because of a contract that you had with her to have a party there, and according to your reading of the contract, she owes you $400.
Yes.
Your reading of the contract is slightly different. Let's first talk to you. What kind of party was this that you were throwing at that establishment?
My pre-release book party.
Okay, because you wrote a book?
I wrote a novel, Falling Petals, and I kind of wanted to do a pre-release, get some opinions of some of the people, put the book out there and let people know what's going on and what I'm doing.
Were you self-publishing or you were?
I was going to self-publish, but then I pulled it back because
So this is pre-release then?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Very
So you
much
wrote a book, and then you wanted to have a party and kind of promote it, and were the people there people who had read it?
Yes.
Okay, so how many people did you have?
I would say roughly maybe 30 people came out. I took some pictures. We had plenty of pictures.
Okay, so you would say about 30 people attended.
About 30 people.
Is that accurate?
No,
How many do you say attended?
about 50 to 55 people.
How do you know?
Because our restaurant seats 50 people and there are a few people standing.
There was someone sitting in every one of those 50 seats?
Every
And then
seat.
there were a few people standing?
Yes.
Is that part accurate, that there was someone sitting in every seat and there were a few people standing?
It's not totally accurate because the restaurant was open to other people. So it wasn't like it was closed exclusively for
Okay,
me.
ping pong, ping pong. Is that accurate that the restaurant was open to other people during that party?
Yes,
Well, then how do you know how many people were her guests and how many people were not?
because she sold tickets for the event,
Okay, who did the selling of the tickets?
Miss Simone.
How do you know how many tickets she sold?
I don't know how many tickets she
So you're
sold.
guessing.
Right.
You're
Well,
kind of guessing.
I'm not guessing because she told me that originally that she was going to have about 40, at least 40 people to the event.
Okay,
that's
so
what we
we're from
agreed on.
55, now we're down to 40, but you don't know beforehand how many people actually go. So if you're not in control of the door, it's a guess about how many people went, right? How many people, according to you, how many people went? 30?
About 30.
What's about 30? How many people went? Because if you sold tickets, you know how many people went. How many tickets did you sell?
About 20, but some of the people that came, my video person that was setting up the video screen, then you had the DJ, and then you had,
So you seated them? And even with that, it's only 30?
yeah.
Okay. Now, what was the agreement you guys had?
The contract was through email.
It's the first email and then the second one.
Let me see all of the emails governing any of the agreement between the two of you. Okay, so you sent an email to her saying, I'm looking to pre-sell tickets at $25, $15 for an autographed novel copy, and $10 goes to the house and should be used towards drink and or entree. You respond, okay, at $10 per person plus a bar guarantee of $400, meaning that your guests will order as normal, and at the end of the night, we calculate all that sales during the hours of your event, that should reach the $400. I'm not understanding. What's the deal you're offering her? Because I understand the $400 because you explained it, but I don't understand the $10.
Okay, so she had ticket sales at
Yeah.
$25, and $15 were for the book, and $10 was, in essence, a discount for
The food.
the food.
Okay, so she's going to pay you the $10 per person.
Yes.
Did you not get that?
I didn't get that.
Well, but when in your email you say $10 to the house, how did you not get that?
No, $10 to the house, but it was towards the $400.
Yeah, but it's towards something. That
The
means that she's got to
$400.
discount her food. Like her food costs. If somebody orders $20 worth of food and they're only paying $10 for it, you know, she's supposed to get the other $10. That's what $10 per person means, right?
What I'm saying is, to get to that $400, I gave a $200 deposit.
In the end, you ended up paying her $400
Altogether.
cash.
Yes.
Yourself. Well, there's no dispute about that. Let's put that to a side a second, okay? But what did you? Before we get to that, I want to get to what you thought the agreement was.
That the $10 was going towards the guarantee.
$10 going towards the $400.
Yes.
But now you paid $400, and then you collected the money at the door, right?
Yes.
But you feel like because the agreement should be read the way you're saying, the only thing she should get is the $400 and not what people ordered?
No, she did. She did get what people ordered. Her tab, when I sat down with her.
So she collected more than $400.
Of course.
So you feel like your $400 goes back?
Yes, because that was the deal. Because at the end of the night, she made over $900.
Okay. Is there any dispute that you collected $900 in revenue that day?
No, her party yielded about $655.
What evidence do you have to show me about that? Because she says you showed her $900 worth of stuff.
Receipts.
No,
that night.
these are the receipts here.
Who keeps tabs that night? You do?
Well, the bartender.
Is that the bartender you just
Yes.
pointed to? Come on up, bartender. How do you know if people are hers or belong to somebody else?
You really don't. But in that particular instance, the time frame that her party was is all accumulative. I don't try to decide who is who. I just add it up all together based on the time frame.
No, but that's not the agreement between those two.
Right.
So I don't blame you.
So who here thinks they may have the great American novel in him or her? Really?
Yep.
Give me it in 12 seconds.
I'm a former Army Ranger, got out, tried to be a cop, messed that up. Hit the streets for a while, went to college, got my law degree and MBA, messed that up, and now I'm in rehab. And
Okay, stop. We're out of time, but you may have it. You may have it. Going inside the courtroom.
So now these little drink tickets that are attached to this, what are these?
They are the tickets that she gave them in order to get $10 off whatever.
Okay, why don't we just count these? These will tell us how many people were there. Has anybody counted them?
Yeah.
I can't believe you keep these.
It comes out to 18, but that would mean that's what she gave them as far as the discount is concerned.
I'm rereading your email. Let's look exactly at what you say. At the time that you guys are reaching an agreement, because the only thing that's relevant to the court when we're trying to figure out what the contract is what was the agreement between everybody before the event happens. So there's what you folks appear to have agreed to, which is what I've got to figure out. What you think it should be now, what you think it should be now. Those are three different things. All I care about is what it was then. So let's look at it. Let's discuss the process in which we work with events. We can do in making the space available is, as you suggested, at $10 per person, plus a bar guarantee of $400, meaning that your guests will order as normal, and at the end of the night, we will calculate all that sales during the hours of your event. That should reach the $400. If that amount is not reached, you would be responsible for the balance. Okay. What we all know is that the sales reached $400. You think it's $900. She says it's $600 and something. But we know that the sales all reached $400. What you are arguing is there were 40 people there. And therefore, that's why you should keep her additional $400. You don't know there's 40 people there because nobody really took a head count. All you can show to me is that there are 18 tickets sold. So what have we got? We have you being entitled to making sure you make at least $400 in receipts, all of which has been met by your admission. And then, at best for you, you being entitled to $10 for each of the sold tickets. And I agree with you on that, because that's a $10 discount off your prices that you weren't, I mean, that person's getting $10 worth of food from you. So you're right about that. So my next step then, in this dissection, is to try to figure out how many people went. You say 55, then you say 40, you say 30, and then you say, I sold 20. Well, you didn't even sell 20, you sold 18. All right? So of this 18, an additional $180 belongs to you for food discounts that you gave at her request that you're supposed to be compensated for. So of the 400, 180 is not going to you because that's owed to her, which means everybody's going to know I can't do this math quickly. 220 is what you need to return to her. My verdict is for the plaintiff in the amount of the $220. Okay? Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Judge Milian finally unravels this deal, and she winds up with 220 back out of the thing. You have to pay that. What's your feeling on this now, giving some back?
We're not accountable of whose party is who. We don't know any of her people. She knows her people.
How do you keep count of anything?
As long as everyone pays their bill, that's what we're worried about.
Well, you wind up in another dispute next time because nobody knows how many or who many or who's paying what. We'll see you again then.
No,
unless
I don't
you're
think
a little
so.
more specific next time in your contracting.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. So step on in here, and okay, you got some back. Okay, are you satisfied?
Yes, of course. Something is better than nothing,
All right. Good. Good. And
especially when you're a struggling artist.
Oh yeah, the book.
Yes.
All right. Tell us a little bit about the book.
It's Falling Petals. It's about a woman that gets sexually abused and the domino effects behind it. Society, family, friends, everybody's affected.
Is it out yet?
Not
You
yet.
can go to Barnes and Noble and
Not yet. We're
order
still
it
working-
online, Amazon.
We're still working on it.
Still working it. When do you expect it?
Hopefully sometime this year.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Harvey.
You know, at a point, judges will just throw their hands up and say, I can't figure out what the contract means. Here, the judge was able to figure it out just barely.